Do you really know what to do when you're out in the wild?
Are you backpacking with Coleman stoves, using streams like trails?
And judging everyone just to boost your own ego?
We've got 12 signs to watch out for. Welcome to the Backpacking Blisters podcast, the family-friendly show that has tips and tales with a sense of humor. This episode is brought to you by the gear experts that do know what they're doing, Enlightened Equipment. Check out the best ultralight gear at enlightenedequipment.com. With me today is a man who gets one non-winter month a year, Jesse Manti.
And with me today is a man who doesn't know how to find a place to do his business in the woods, but is happy to tell you about everything else on the trail, Carl Mandrioli.
What does that even mean?
You're
That doesn't
always
make
complaining
sense.
people are walking up on you in the trail.
They are.
Yeah, well, that's your fault. So now, before you leave a log in the woods, take the log out of your own. I am just going to stop with that.
That is not the Bible verse
That
of the
is not
episode,
the Bible
just to
verse.
clarify.
Speaking of the Bible verse of the Bible verse of the episode is Proverbs 16:2. All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit. What's something in your life, Carl, where you feel like you thought you were doing something right, but then God kind of gently came and nudged you in a different direction?
Ooh, so many things. So many things. Yeah, so I think that, like, the obvious one is that I'm just, we've had a lot of really good guests on this podcast, and I'm just trying to search for anybody except for you, Jesse, but then we just keep on coming back to co-hosting together, so I think it's probably that.
I keep trying to secretly manipulate things behind the scenes to make sure that nobody else says yes to your co-host suggestions and requests.
There's a lot of rejection going on behind the scenes. A lot of rejection.
Paying people to say no to you at this point. That's why I'm here.
A lot of ghosted emails and all sorts of things. Anyway, okay, so we're doing an episode about why are we even doing this? Are we judging everyone? Are we?
Well, you are.
Why are we doing this episode? What's this episode about, Jesse?
Carl, secretly, as we walk down the trail, we do encounter people who are doing things you know they're doing it wrong and they don't know what they're doing. And sometimes you and I might be the more courageous people to hey, maybe you shouldn't do it that way. But even you and I, we probably don't do that as often as we should or could.
You're saying you would go to a stranger.
So this is our chance. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. This is our chance to tell strangers you're doing it wrong. Is that, I mean,
yeah.
am I wrong?
And I think, and we like to make this a conversation. So why are we wrong? Why are we wrong on what we're saying? You can come back at us and say, you know what, you said that, you shouldn't be doing this, but I do this, and here's why, and here's my line of reasoning, and I like to have a 50-pound pack and all that stuff. That's fine. That's fine. Open the conversation.
I think the other thing is, maybe a better way for us to word this is we're airing, I think, our collective backpacking community's pet peeves. These are some of those pet peeves that, as backpackers, we see beginners, less experienced people who don't know what they're doing. We all want to say something, but we don't have the platform. But we, Carl, you and I, have the platform to air this pet peeve for the community's sake.
I think that's fair. I just think we're saying this in good fun, but there's probably some stories behind each of these things. I have more of a general story, I guess I could share, where it's people are very indignant about some of these things they're doing and that they're bringing. And they're no, I need to have these things. And then they end up loading up their pack, and then we end up waiting for these folks in the trail. So it's they're being indignant, but then they're also costing on the back end of things. And so there's probably some deep-seated just pain that I have that I'm just trying to exercise out through this episode.
I know you said that you were trying to make that lighthearted, but that just ended with Carl needs some therapy for.
Right. I think isn't that what this is? Isn't that what the whole podcast is?
Sorry. Yes, absolutely. What I hear you saying is that you need some backpacking therapy.
That's what this is. Okay.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So what is, Carl, the first thing you see people doing on the trail that you know is wrong, makes them look like they don't know what they're doing, but you just...
My first one's inspired by the Eric Hansen episode from a few weeks ago where it was actually his group of friends bringing a solo jet boil. You've got a jet boil, you're by yourself, if I see you kind of using your Jetboil by yourself, to me that tells me you don't know what you're doing. Like that makes no sense to me.
It is like music to my ears, Carl. Just like, wow.
Yeah, I like the Jetboil. There's a place for it. Eric was sharing that he had, I think, 6 guys with him, and he was the only one that didn't have a Jetboil. There were like 5 other Jetboils on the trip. I was like, what is happening here? What is happening?
That's called marketing, and that's why I don't like Jetboils. But yes, yeah, I completely.
Because they market?
They are such good marketing. They market. Everyone buys into the market and thinks, this saves me time and saves me fuel. I need a Jetboil. And like you said, we've hashed this out.
It does. No, they're right. They're not overpromising.
Not on one person's meal. The amount of weight that the Jetboil is does not offset. Anyways, we've been through this.
And bulk. It's like bulky too. And then you'd have to be out there for a stinking long time to go through a whole small fuel canister. So the efficiency thing doesn't even really matter unless you're going to be reusing that same fuel canister trip after trip.
I just feel like you're saying things that I've said to you before, back when you used to be a big proponent of the Jetboil, and I
still am, just not for solo backpacking.
Yeah, whatever.
Groups, 5 people or more, or if my wife goes. Those are the 2 circumstances.
I do agree. I think this is one of those things that when I see a single person using a Jetboil on the trail, I do think to myself, you went to an REI or you went to a mech, you went to a big store, and they said, this is the best thing on the market, buy this. And they're like, okay, and they bought it.
Done. Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's my first one. What's your first one?
Okay. Mine is, again, single person. There are some situations where you could use it. You use a gravity feed water filtration system, which means you're not only bringing 1 water bladder, you're bringing 2, which is twice the mistake, if you ask me.
Dude, this is a good one. I like this one. Okay. So you think that they shouldn't have that?
You don't need a gravity feed system. If you're a single person, you're not drinking enough water to justify, I really need to set it up at camp and let it drip for 30 minutes to filter 2 liters of water. Like you could do that with like a platypus quick draw in 60 seconds. Like it's not worth it.
I've set up a feed system, but I've never done the double. I've always done the single where then I have a hose going out into like water bottles and then that one fills up and I just move it. But that's typically if I've got a big group with me and kids with me where it's like, sometimes the kids are going to contribute and sometimes they're not, depending on their age. But the double one, that's really funny. Like I haven't seen that in a while. Typically you see it in big groups, but periodically you'll see it in small groups or solo backpacking. Oh man.
I'm going to say I have bought into this theory in the past and I've done it. And I remember doing it once and being like, this is the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
This is so stupid.
Sure.
Now what I do, if I really want to do something upside down, I will literally I'll just like on the edge of the counter table, I'll just like put my water bottle, not my water bottle, my quick draw or my Catadine Be Free, even though I hate those, and just put them off to the side and let it drip down into a cup or into my pot. And that's my gravity feed.
Wait, you hate the Catadine Be Free?
Oh, I loathe it. It's there's so many videos, Carl, that I wish I would have made. The one that I really wish I would have made that I never got a chance to, or I guess I still could, is called the Catadine Be Free, Be Garbage. I think it's
my favorite filter. Why do you hate it?
Trash.
Why?
I have used the Catadine Be Free. I have used 3 different filters, and not a single one of them has lasted longer than a season. In fact, when I took it on the GDT, it lasted me 6 days and then like slowed down to the point where it was not usable.
Like Canadian poopy water is not the Catadine Be Free's fault. Let's be honest here.
I am surprised. I can't believe you like it as much as you do, but I don't want to get caught
It's how you view. Okay, if your answer, when I said why don't you like it, if your answer included the word Giardia, I would have been like, all right, I'm with you. But the fact that you're like, it's just like a durability issue, I get it does eventually slow down. I don't know what I have seen that like milky glacial clean Canadian water. If you're using that, I don't know if you're pre-filtering.
You can't. Well, first of all, you can't pre-filter like glacier water. It's such a microscopic thing. But even clear, like I was doing it with clear streams, clear water. Yeah, there was like one lake, but it was still a clear lake. And within 6 days, and not only that, and I think this is what sealed it for me. I was already upset that I had to bought one, and then I had to replace the filter. And then I was like, fine, I'm going to give it one more chance. Because it's true. What sells it is like those first 6, well, probably more than that. Those first like 25 to 30 liters of filtration are amazing. Like it is amazing.
Right.
After that, I don't, and even like my reviewing friends, I know I have so many friends who reviewed it, love it, rant about it, rave about it. I don't know a single person who uses the same filter more than one season. I shouldn't say that.
No, I'm with you.
There is one person that I know, and I don't know how he gets away with it. It became such a problem for me that it caused me dehydration because and caused me to drink out of untreated water because it took so long to filter. It was taking me 2 to 3 minutes to filter just I think it was 1 liter.
That sounds like a grip strength issue, for being honest here. But
okay, your shoulders hurting, Carl?
I think, okay, so I view them as more disposable, and so I do replace them every season, but
they're so expensive.
Okay, just the filter, not the bag. The filter replacement is not that bad.
It's still like $30. I can't afford just throwing away $30
a year.
$30.
No, a year.
No.
Okay.
That's a filter should last long. My Sawyer Squeeze and my Quick Draw have lasted multiple seasons.
They last long, but they slow down too, man. Like
they slow down, but not as slow.
Okay.
Anyways, it's garbage. I'm just saying.
It's just I just like the ease of use. We'll hash this out later. Okay, next one.
Maybe you just have an Osprey budget. Okay, maybe you're just
rolling.
That's what it is. You have a Catadine B-free replacement budget.
Teachers are known to be rolling in the dough, right?
In Canada, they are. So I mean, it's a little bit different up here.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like every time as a Canadian, you're like, teacher salary, teacher. But like in Canada, it's like if you're working for the teacher, like you're pretty well off.
Maybe I gotta go up there then.
Yeah, come on up here.
Okay.
I mean, you could teach us a thing or two, or we could teach you. I
teach you U.S. history. Isn't that what you guys want?
Yeah. How about how we burnt down your guys' White House? Yeah, you could teach us all about that.
Okay, fair enough. Next one I got. Now this one I used to kind of rant about a lot, and I haven't really talked about it a lot recently. But it's kind of like making a comeback as I'm kind of shopping tents and seeing things, and people are still doing the footprint. If you've got a footprint out on the trail, to me that tells me that you have been upsold by the store, or you have been fear-mongered into buying one or something, and you don't know what you're doing. I have thousands upon thousands of trail miles with tents, and I have not gotten a hole in the bottom of my tent. And I've been in desert, mountains, Canadian summer, winter, whatever that is. I've been out east, like
Canadian summer, winter.
It's summer, but it really feels like winter.
Yeah. It's home.
Yeah. And so, I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think that for the extra cost and weight, it's like a redundancy that is silly.
You know what, Carl? I'll take you one up. I actually have gotten holes in my tent floor. And
in summer, winter,
and still doesn't affect things because like it's under your tent.
Right.
You aren't going to get, unless you're in a stream, you're not going to get water through your floor.
Which, if there's anybody who would camp in a stream, it'd probably be you, for being honest here.
This is a perfect place to set up a tent. Just trust me, you guys.
Right. But wait a second. What was the tent, and how did you get the holes?
I am not saying names because I love this brand too much to speak ill of this tent.
Can I guess? I'm going to take one guess, and if I'm correct, will you say yes or no, please?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, then I'll share.
You can guess.
I have seen a straight up tear in a tent bottom, and it was not because of placement on the ground. It was just quality control issue, and that was in a tent. It doesn't exist anymore, but it's like an early version of an Outdoor Vitals single person tent.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
No, this was just a couple. To be honest, there was a couple of little like pinholes. Probably just my bad.
Putting it on Canadian cactus, or what are you doing there?
Yeah, when you're wild camping though, and you're not like at designated camp spots, you set up on all terrain, and if you're not paying attention to pine cones or needles or whatnot, things can punch
even
through.
when I'm not super careful, and I still don't get the holes. So anyway.
I do agree. 90% of the time, it's not a problem. Hasn't been a problem on any other tents. This was one fault probably of my own.
Okay.
Okay, a sign that somebody doesn't know what they're doing on trail, and this one's going to get me some flack because lots of experts make this mistake, but I still stand by it. You don't use trekking poles.
I don't use trekking poles a lot of the time.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what you're doing out there. Case in point.
I'm not making my miles. I'm not making it to camp, you're saying.
Yep, you aren't really backpacking. Okay. You're just in, it's all AI. No, I used to hate trekking poles.
Right.
I hated them. I swore against them. I still enjoy not hiking with trekking poles. I get it. I'm not a trekking pole user. The science compels me. 10 to 25% of the weight taken off of my knees and my feet and distributed to my hands, my elbows, and my shoulders makes logical sense to me.
Okay.
And if you don't get that, you don't know what you're doing.
You're saying that using your big leg muscles to go up hills, instead of using the big muscles, use your strong, your like small forearm muscles.
Yeah, distribute 10 to 25% of that weight to muscles that aren't doing anything while you're backpacking. Okay. They're not doing anything.
Right. You would never want to use your hands to grab things like a camera, to grab things like snacks, to grab things like your water bottle, where your trekking poles are dangling off your arms, dragging on the trail. Like, nobody ever cares about that.
1 hour of hiking, and I might spend maybe 5 minutes grabbing snacks as a YouTuber, maybe 15 minutes, like grabbing my phone, putting it down. And guess what, Carl? I've done it through an entire through hike. You can still do that with trekking poles.
I use them. I just don't use them all the time. No. Like on backpacking trips. Like I'll use them for hiking, trail running, like long distance trail running. I call it like
borrow them from people when you're crossing streams because you're too afraid. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's even better. Then you don't have to carry them.
Moocher.
Okay. I'll probably end up using them as I get older and like have to use them, but I'm with you. I understand what you're saying, but
see, my point is I want to save my knees before I get to old Carl syndrome where you're like, oh, my knees. I'm hoping.
You've heard me complain on my knees, you're saying?
No, I haven't. I'm pretty impressed. You haven't complained about your knees a lot. Your shoulders, whole other thing. Maybe that's why you don't use trekking poles.
You've heard me complain about my shoulders. You've heard me literally complain about them.
I have heard on the podcast you complain about them. No, I'm just saying maybe that's why you don't use trekking poles is your poor, weak, frail shoulders.
All right, maybe people can't afford them. You know what? Even the Target ones cost a lot of money.
The Costco ones are so cheap. They're like 50, 60 bucks. Yeah. And they're really good.
You can't afford a filter, but you can afford twice the cost of trekking poles.
And yeah, trekking poles that have lasted like 8 years. And hundreds, thousands of miles, but not 30 liters of water. Okay. Yeah, it's be garbage.
All right, next one. This one, you'd be surprised at how often, especially newer backpackers, are doing this. Don't do this, folks. Don't bring a tent with fiberglass poles. Oh. Don't do it. If you're wondering, like, okay, like it's a cheaper tent, okay, besides the poles just being heavier, these poles will break 100% of the time. At some point, especially if you're backpacking with them, they will break, and they're not fixable in the field. Like, you put the duct tape around them, and it's just like a sharp 90-degree angle where it used to be curved, and you're just in a tough spot. I've been on trips with folks who brought these poles, and I was like, why, dude, why do you have these? And I get that they're cheaper. I get it, but you can find cheap enough tents that have aluminum poles.
Carl, I'm calling you out on this. Name one backpacking tent that still uses fiberglass poles.
Stuff you find at stores like Walmart.
Yeah, like the Walmart special. Outside of that, I don't think this is a problem that doesn't need a solution or problem begging for a solution.
I'm telling you what I'm seeing on the trail, dude. I'm telling you that I'm seeing it.
Okay, yeah, well, I want pictures next time because I don't think they actually exist anymore. I think they phased that out in the 90s. You're probably like having some old Alzheimer's of like, back when I was backpacking, people had the fiberglass poles. I do agree with you though. Don't ever use. I actually bought a tent, like a camping tent with fiberglass poles, and sure enough, they're breaking. But it's a great tent. Other than that.
Other than the fact that you can't use it, it's amazing.
It's different when you're camping, though. When you're camping, you can bring the repairs, you can bring backup poles, you can run up and get replacements. It's not the end of the world.
Okay, so I'll give you the scenario that happened on our last trip. I'm not going to name names.
Did it involve fiberglass poles?
Well, I don't know for sure, but if it didn't, I want to know the scenario where it didn't. So somebody has a tent for his family. He goes to grab the tent and realizes that the tent is, quote, broken, and can't use a tent, and then therefore tries to borrow a tent from somebody else. Besides the poles being broken, how's the tent broken?
But I've had aluminum aluminum pole tents break on me. So
have you?
Yeah, it was the joint. It was the little place where 3 prongs of aluminum tents went in. Okay. The one bent so bad so that the pole could go into it, but it didn't have the pressure to stay. It just popped out. So it was like the tent was like sitting vertical on one side.
So you think it could be?
It could be aluminum, or it could be carbon fiber. Carbon fibers become super popular, and what people don't realize.
If I told you this person was, you'd be like, "That's not the right answer."
Okay, fair enough. Carbon fiber is more brittle than people realize. It's super strong, but it's brittle and it can break.
Right. Okay. All right. Next one.
Oh, you're still using moleskin to treat blisters. If you are still using the moleskin branded moleskin things that you cut out or the little dots to treat your blisters, let me introduce you to Leuko tape. It will change your life and save you so many blisters. Moleskins never stayed on my feet, Carl. Like, is that me or is that just everyone?
Well, and they're like a lot of them are thick and they just
Thick.
Yeah, they're not good.
Felt.
Right.
And they don't, like, you put on your sock, and as soon as you put on your sock, they've already come off your blister.
But it's like this cultural thing. It's probably more like a Gen X millennial thing, maybe a boomer thing too, where it's just like that's what you call what you put on your blister. And maybe even you use a different type of tape. But I'll be honest, this is like sheer laziness on my part. There's times where there's somebody that I know that's like, I'm getting a blister. Do you have any moleskin? And I'm like, well, I've got this tape. And there's different types of tape that work. Some people use like KT tape or whatever. But they are so used to using moleskin. I don't want to like argue with them. I'm like, just
use this.
You know, like they'll get it out. I'm like, just use your moleskin and let's keep going. Laziness right there.
So you're saying they'll ask you for moleskin and you'll give them tape and they'll just
maybe I didn't phrase that right. They're saying they need moleskin or they need to get out moleskin, and I should be saying like, actually, here's a better option. And so I'll present that to them and they're like, I'll just use moleskin. And I'm not up for the debate on the trail. I'm just like, use what you want to use.
Oh, so. I debate. I'll debate I'll debate it, and here's why. Because like not even a mile down the line, when their blisters still bugging them, and they're like, oh, I have to fix my moleskin again. I'll say like, oh, here, like I said, you should have used this. Try using this now. And every single person, which is only one, that I've done that to, has used the Leuko tape, and you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
like it actually works.
No, I'm with you on that. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to battle people on what they've believed for years to be the right answer. Like we can talk about it like when we're resting and when we have time and we can lay things out. But yeah, anyway.
And I knew moleskin was a bad idea when I was a kid. I remember my mom putting moleskin on my blisters and me being like, this is such an inferior product. And I was like 5.
Yeah. And you used the word inferior at age 5 probably too.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one I got is if you're wearing brand new shoes, they don't have any scuffs, they don't have any dirt on them, they have all the tread and the little bumps at the bottom of the tread because they haven't been worn at all. If you're using brand new shoes on the backpacking trip, that's like a red flag for if you're going with that person, first of all. But it definitely says that you don't know what you're doing on a backpacking trip.
Are you saying the fault is because they're using like shiny brand new shoes, or that they haven't broken in their shoes? Like, am I understanding you right?
What do you think is the answer to that question?
I don't need to break in shoes that I know are a brand that I trust. Like, I can put on a pair of Hokas and I'm good. My feet are well blistered, well calloused. I don't need to break in shoes.
My feet are well blistered already. They're pre-blistered so that it's not going to hurt any worse.
I mean, I got callus. I've had enough blisters in places where I'm going to callus, so it's fine.
Gotcha.
So if somebody's like,
I think that's horrific advice for anybody out there. Because
agreed. I would not. Sorry, I want to be clear. I would not recommend that. Please break in your shoes. 100%. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But are you saying it? That's what I was clarifying. You're saying break in your shoes.
You got to use your shoes because even if it's
don't bring in new shoes.
Yeah, like even so we had like Darwin on a few months ago who talked about like he had this model of shoe that he loved. They of course upgraded the model, which is a downgrade. That happens all the stinking time. And then even with like Hokas, like I've used a Hoka where I'm like, this shoe fits me perfectly. Different model, but very similar. This shoe gives me blisters immediately. So it's not even like, I don't trust any brand. I don't trust any brand of shoe. I think every like year or two, I've got to retry on and revamp what shoes I'm bringing, whether it's for hiking or for running or for whatever, because they're just constantly changing.
I guess again, this is probably where a little bit of through hiker reality is different. As a through hiker, you go through so many shoes that like you have to get new shoes at some point on the trail. You're not pre-breaking in 4 pairs of shoes or 6 pairs of shoes.
That is a caveat.
So that's why I'm saying you're saying like have shoes. And in general, I agree with you. You need to break in your shoes.
That's the one. Yeah, right. That's the one scenario where that doesn't apply.
Yeah.
But typically like the shoe hackers really know what they're doing. They're using the same models, or they know the models that fit them well out of the box.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm using the same shoe that I know is a good shoe for me,
the same shoe model, like the same version,
same year,
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I agree. Like hey, even if it's a brand that I know and love, I'll still break it in for a few days around house or a few weeks wearing it around just to be safe. But
that's a good point. You got me on that one. You're right. You're right about that.
No, I mean, like, I do agree with you. I just thought you were saying don't wear fancy shoes on trail versus don't wear shoes you haven't tested, broken in.
What are fancy shoes like Jordans?
Yeah, like Air Jordans, really nice Nikes,
Nikes.
Nikes.
All right, you got, what's your next one here?
You choose to hike with people consistently. Sorry, you consistently choose to hike with people who consistently bring too much gear. It's like they're like people who bring like jars of peanut butter instead of like portioning out their peanut butter, or like an entire frozen cake, or like a patio chair, or toilet seats, random toilet seats. And yet you consistently choose to go hiking with these people. That's how you know that you're a backpacker who doesn't know what they're doing.
You know what? You're calling me out on this one, and you got me. I'm not going with them anymore. I'm officially uninviting all of those folks. You may not go backpack with me anymore.
And you guys can all come and backpack with me now. I will officially adopt you now that Carl is rejecting you, because I'm so lonely as a solo Canadian backpacker up here. I just love for somebody to go backpacking with me.
It's funny because I would say that like the folks that I go backpacking with have so much more experience than most backpackers out there. Probably like 90%. They're more experienced than 90%. But they probably like would hit on this list on most of the things we're talking about here.
But again, what's crazy is like, obviously I'm tongue in cheek pointing at Rocky,
Right.
but like he carries his own. He'll he can overpack, but he can outpack anybody up a
there'll be a tipping point age for sure, but you're right. Yeah. We're talking about Rocky.
Anyways, I was kind of being tongue in cheek there, but what's your next one?
Okay, so next one, this is actually crazy because this is one that this has been mentioned for years, and I still see it, and then I actually saw it inside the group I was going with where somebody was wearing jeans on a backpacking trip.
That's a big no-no.
Jeans. Okay, so I see this.
That's uncomfortable just thinking about it.
It is. So one of the guys that went on the trip, his name's Jordan. I'm calling him out because I know that I know he can handle it. First of all,
Does he listen to the podcast?
Yeah. I'll tell him that I mentioned his name, but he's one of the folks I've been on I think 4 or 5 backpacking trips with him now, and he can like beat me up the hill. Like this dude is fitter than me. This dude knows what he's doing. He's an Eagle Scout. He's wise. For whatever reason, on the Canyonlands trip, he's like, I'm gonna wear jeans the whole time.
In Canyonlands.
So he's experienced, and he didn't complain at all about like chafage or any issues. And he wore black jeans, so I didn't like notice it right away because they weren't obviously like the blue jeans. And then it was like day 2, I was like, dude, what you wearing over there? And so he does, like he was just doing it to goof, I think. But if I'm seeing somebody out on the trail who's wearing jeans, that's like a red flag.
Yeah. Totally. That's an instant, like, you don't know what you're doing. I agree completely. Right. Yeah. This is harder to tell on the trail, but if you do this, you don't know what you're doing when you go backpacking. And that is when you are buying your backpacking meals on an empty stomach in the city, which means you're picking the meals that you want in that moment, not planning ahead for the kinds of food you're going to want or you'll enjoy on trail. I don't know if you've been there. You look at this wall of
this is like it's like a study in psychology right here.
No, think about it. You look at this wall of food, and when you're hungry, you read some of these names and it's like spicy pesto chicken, cheese, and onions. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm starving right now. That sounds so good. But in the backcountry, you open up and it's like, what was I thinking? Why did I get spicy pesto cheese and onion chicken?
That actually sounds pretty good. I would eat that.
I would not eat that in the backcountry. And I've done this. I've gotten like cashew spicy curry chicken. And when I'm hungry at home, that sounds delicious. I love curry. After like a long day in the hot sun in a backpack. It's like, oh yeah, spicy cashew chicken curry. I'm like, I've never had this before. I don't even know if it's good. I don't want this. I want something I know I'm going to enjoy. And I'm going to partner this up because I have seen this as well. And this is also a dead giveaway. When you're still bringing can for your food on the backpacking trail.
Okay. I haven't seen people do that in a long time. Maybe
I've seen it once within the past decade. But you just know that they're making a mistake when there's cans around the campsite. I've seen cans at campsites. I've seen cans in people's bags.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The second thing you said makes sense because you can physically see, like it's a sign that they don't know what they're doing. You can physically see the cans. The first thing you said, though, where you're like, that person clearly picked out food when they were hungry, and therefore I can see the regret in their face as they're eating it. Like, I don't think that's a thing.
The speed, what you have to chew is the speed of spork to mouth is how you know if they've made this mistake or not. Fast, they didn't make the mistake.
Yeah.
They picked food that they knew they would enjoy. Slow, they made that mistake. They went food picking when they were hungry. No, you're right. Obviously, you can't tell. It's not a sign. But if you hear somebody complaining about their food choices, it's probably because they picked it when they were hungry and in a store.
It could be. Yeah. I'll give you the terrible answer award on this one.
Okay, come on.
Okay, here's the thing. So
it's not a sign, but it is something that somebody doesn't know what they're doing.
This might be true for you, but if I'm going to the store and I'm full, so now I'm full, and I got to buy my backpacking food, and I'm like looking at all of these freeze-dried meals or whatever, I'm like, none of these sound good. I'll probably be fine out there. I don't need a meal because I'm full. I don't want one. And I don't want the one in the moment. I have to be hungry. Otherwise, I'm not going to be excited to go shopping for the food.
If you think, if that's how you think, Carl, then you really don't know what you're doing when you're backpacking. If you, as experienced of a backpacker as you are, look at this wall of food, you're like, oh, I'm hungry right now. I just had a Big Mac. I probably won't need food after I've hiked 20 kilometers in the backcountry. You don't know what you're doing.
I'm exaggerating. The point is that like I'll likely bring less food than I need if I'm full when I'm shopping and packing than if I was hungry.
I don't know if that's actually true. I think if you have some knowledge.
This is like I said, it's a study in psychology. You're sharing your psychology. I'm sharing my psychology. You can't.
Your psychology.
I can't say you're wrong about your experience. I can say you're wrong that this doesn't apply to everybody and vice versa.
Your psychology is wrong, is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
No,
you don't know yourself.
You don't know yourself. No, I guess I would, if I'm full and I go to that wall, I'm choosing things that I know I like, rather than experimenting with weird things.
If you're a new backpacker, you don't always know what you like, so there could be regret issues there. Maybe you decided I'm going to buy Alpine Air or I'm going to buy ReadyWise, and those are some cheap ones. They sound good. They got good pictures on the front, and then you're going to immediately regret them first bite. So,
okay, you're right. I guess I was expecting like these signs to be things of like people who are going on more than just their first or second trip.
It could be.
Okay, fine. You know, I think it's a good answer, but if you want to judge me and take all my steam, go ahead for it. You know, whatever, Carl. Whatever.
Okay.
You know.
All right, I will. I'll do that. And speaking of good answers, it's time for our Summit answer that's brought to you by Summit Something. It's time to get rid of those trashy scribble on cardboard signs you're bringing to those mountain peaks. Get something that packs well, is ultralight and durable, Summit flags. These unique flags display art from your epic adventure that will show up better in pictures, videos, and on your wall at home. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Check them out at summitsomething.com. All right, my Summit answer is one we've talked about before, but after doing more research and learning more and getting feedback about this, folks, you don't know what you're doing if you have bear spray in non-grizzly territory. Boom.
It just hurts every time. I can't wrap my head.
You live in grizzly territory.
I know. It's true. I just can't. It feels so uncomfortable to hear you suggest that people don't need bear spray. I get what you're saying. I know in your culture that's acceptable. In mine, it's not.
You people
down there, in the 14th province. That's what I'm going to start calling you guys. You guys in the 14th province, Prime Minister or Premier Carl. I'm going to say my Summit answer is you trust and use all trails. Oh, if you're still using all trails and actually trusting it. Now listen, if you want to use all trails to do some research, go for it. If you want to look at pretty pictures to see what the trail report from the most recent hiker was, go for it. But if you are trusting anything that all trail says, you don't know what you're doing.
I can't argue with that. Yeah, I tried using it last summer on the collegiate loop, and it was like the feedback
so
that was
off.
just in the app was like, this is not the accurate route. It doesn't have the full route, and it was just And there's probably more. You're probably talking about more issues than that, but is that the core of what you're saying?
Yeah, distances seem totally off. Like you said, routes. Like up here in Canada, it's like the most ridiculous route names that are like a fraction of the route. Instead of like the full circular loop of this popular backpacking trail, it'll take you to the first viewpoint, and then you have to put up like 6 different. And then distances, difficulties. It'll be like, this is really difficult on like a really moderate trail, and then like a really difficult trail, it'll be like, this is moderate and can be done in 3 hours.
Like, I think this is a bigger issue than all trails. What I was doing is part of the Colorado Trail. It's a very well-traveled trail. There was one day where we had like an uphill that was maybe like 100 feet. It was nothing. And then it was pretty much flat or downhill the rest of the day. I got to camp. Somebody using a different app was like, we did over 3,000 feet of gain today. I was like, no, we didn't. Like, not even close. Not even close. I think there was like one little climb at the end. So maybe 500 feet total, but not even close. Then there was another day where we were climbing pass after pass. It was a day that like almost broke me. We were climbing, I think we climbed over 5 mountain passes. We got to the end. It was like 19 miles. Somebody's like, we did about 3,000 feet today. I was like double that. And they were going off what the app was saying. And I was like, this is incorrect. And this is a pretty well-traveled trail. And they were using different apps.
Is that just a user error though? Like, were they just looking at like, oh, we started at
No, these are people that know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and it was just app error, and it wasn't all trails. It was like, and it wasn't one other app. It was like the multiple apps. I was like, I just think that's
weird.
There's a long way they've got to go to be accurate.
Hey, I'll just say, Far Out, I've been really impressed with. It kind of feels elementary, like it feels a little rudimentary. But for those big trails, Far Out is excellent. And then I also use Garmin. I haven't had any issues.
Okay, Far Out was one of the apps that I'm referring to, by the way. Just so you know.
Oh,
yeah.
Well.
But I do like Far Out for the intel, like on water sources and things that are coming up on the trail. Like I love it for the kind of the community aspect for sure. But I like your all trails answer. I'm with you.
Okay.
All right. We have backpacking knowledge trivia coming up right after this.
Playing mobile games and not getting rewarded for it is a thing of the past. Why haven't you switched yet? If you're going to spend the time playing, you should be earning rewards doing it. With Misplay, you play what you love and earn points for gift cards and more. Plus, you can enter the Misplay sweepstakes for your chance to win tens of thousands of dollars in cash, bundles, and gift cards every week. So yeah, keep playing games. Just maybe get rewarded for it? Download Misplay today and enter for your chance to win.
Backpack Knowledge Trivia is brought to you by Magnet Designs. Handmade to order in Bend, Oregon, Magnet Designs gives you the most vetted backpacking products with the smallest environmental footprint. Through hiker design, tested, built, and owned. Check out the Alpha 90 hoodie, their best-selling product using Polar Tech Alpha Direct fabric. It's ultralight, compressible, hydrophobic, breathable, quick drying in just 4.5 ounces. Google Magnet Designs for the best backpacking gear. All right, so I'm just going to tell you straight up, this is the hardest trivia that I've ever created. If you even get one right, I'll be impressed. But actually, I take that back. If you pass, I'll be impressed. How about that?
If I get one right, you'll be impressed. That's what I heard you said.
You'll be impressed.
No, I'm holding you to that. One right, and you'll be impressed.
Folks that are playing along, if you go 3 for 3, like you're next level, or you're just really good at guessing. So
you actually know what you're doing in the wild, unlike
kind of, because it's like you'll see. Number 1. Okay. What company revolutionized backpacks in the 1950s with aircraft aluminum? A. Kelty, B. Fjallraven, or however the heck you say that weird company, C. Low Alpine, D. The North Face. Aircraft aluminum going into the backpacks. Like external frame we're talking about here.
It's got to be Kelty. I mean, that's what they're known for. But did...
All these companies were around for a long time. One of them may not have been around in the 1950s, though.
Okay, so Fjallraven, Kelty, North Face.
Low Alpine. Yeah.
Low Alpine?
Yeah.
See, I've never heard of Low Alpine, but is it one of those companies that's like they innovated something crazy and then like went out of business or got bought out by Kelty or something like that?
Yeah, they're still in business. You might know them now more as like Low Pro. They make a lot of camera stuff, camera backpacks.
Yeah. I like the Kelty exterior, the Kelty like external frame is just like ubiquitous. It's got to be Kelty.
Okay, correct. There you go. There you go.
Yes. You're impressed? Please tell me you're impressed.
So impressed. So impressed. All right.
Thank you.
Number 2, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife suggests the most likely way you'll use bear spray is against A, a bear, B, a mountain lion, C, a mean deer, or D, an aggressive dog.
Fish and Wildlife, Washington.
Actually use the bear spray. Pull the safety off and squirt away.
This is Washington, like Washington State.
Correct.
You guys have 2 Washingtons.
Borders
Just
Canada,
like,
FYI.
Yeah, but there's 2 Washingtons. Like, you guys are so confused.
That's confusing. You're right.
I'm gonna say, what did you say? An aggressive dog? It's gotta be. Yeah, aggressive dog.
What? That is correct. 2 for 2. 2 for 2. Yeah, I've heard of people encountering aggressive dogs out on the trail. I've encountered them like in neighborhoods, but not where I need to use bear spray. Actually, one maybe, but that was in neighborhoods, never on the trail.
Yeah, I just wonder what they count as bear spray. Like, are they just calling any form of mace? Because they have like little mace that you can like get a micro mace for like.
Well, they're saying that you like if you were to use like hikers use bear spray the most on that particular animal. So I don't know. Number 3, which brand of jeans are the most ultralight? A, Levi's 501, B, 7 for All Mankind's Airweft, or C,
Airweft?
Dockers. That's right, Airweft.
That's such an all.
Again, I could be mispronouncing
Airweft?
it. C, Dockers Slim Fit.
just love these airwefts. Like, hey man, those are really nice airwefts.
Well, Airweft, Ultralight, maybe they go together.
Yeah, it does sound like it. So, Airweft, Dockers, Levi,
Slim Fit or Levi's 501.
Dockers, Slim Fit.
All right, it was the Airwefts. It was the Airwefts.
I thought you were throwing me for a loop.
I didn't even know there's websites on like lightweight jeans. I didn't even know that was a thing.
There is there's a big brand up here in Canada. I can't remember where that's their specialties, like kind of like cowboys / hunters.
Yeah.
But like it's lightweight to them, but like would
Right.
be extra heavy to a lightweight backpacker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, interesting.
I got a few tidbits here. You got a tidbit actually, right?
I do, Carl. Carol. Christmas Carol. At Christmas, you suggested a piece of gear you had suggested, and I put it on my Christmas wish list. And I got this piece of gear. And I was really excited for it.
I think I know what it is.
I used it this past weekend.
Oh yes.
For the first time.
Can I share what I think it is?
Yep.
The Trekology Mega Pillow.
The Mega Pillow.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed in it.
What?
I was super disappointed in it. I found it uncomfortable. I actually, in the middle of the night, swapped it out for my Trekology regular A-Luft Deluxe or 2.0 pillow. And I realized, I wish I had it. I should have grabbed it. I realized that the difference between these 2 pillows is the weird, like, rubbery bumps on the bottom of the one pillow, which adds a lot of traction onto the pad. The thing that I liked the least about the pad or the pillow was that it literally just kept sliding off my mat. Even with the strap,
Okay.
it just kept sliding right off the pad. And so
if you like the size of it, you just put little like those grippy dots on the bottom of the pillow if you really want to.
I have to add grippy
I know
dots.
it's
I mean,
annoying. I'm not that kind of person either. I want it to come like out of the box, ready to go. I'm with you. I'm just saying if you like the size of it, that's a solution.
I also didn't like. I will say I didn't like. I like how the like the Trekology A-Luft has like a head cradle. This one's just like a big rectangle, and
It's like a real pillow, isn't? There's
no like my pillow.
Your pillow doesn't have a like a little cradle for.
You want to bet? I'll show you my pillow. It actually has
I
a
don't
cradle in
spend
it.
thousands of dollars on a pillow like you do.
No, but even any other pillow, you put your head on it and your pillow sinks in to create a cradle for your head. But this one doesn't. It just like keeps your head like in one locked position because it's just inflated with air.
You could
Anyways,
have tested that out before the trip, by the way. This is testable.
I didn't test it on my bed, but I did test it for a nap on the floor on a sleeping pad, and it seemed decent enough then. But I'll still try it one more time car camping on like it won't be able to strap to me and Sierra's like double wide pad, but like I think it could still work in my car camping setup. But I don't think I'll ever bring it backpacking. Anyways, you led me astray.
I apologize. And if you are like Jesse and you're like the Princess and the Pea story, and then maybe this is not a pillow for you. So
It's true. Sierra calls me a sleep pansy. So no, she doesn't call me that. She says I'm sleep needy. That's what she calls it.
okay.
I have like earplugs and an eye mask.
There's a lot of people that are that way. So yeah. All right. I got a question from Jack from Instagram. He asked, do you guys ever cover how to fly for a backpacking trip? He said, I know you mentioned you can't fly with stove gas, but maybe more specifics, like what items go in carry-on versus checked luggage. Do you just check your backpack or do you put it inside something? So I don't know. Have you done a lot of flights with backpacks?
No, actually, I haven't done any.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you should not answer this question, but you probably still will.
No, I don't. What do you suggest? You've done this a lot.
I'm not an expert, and I'm not like a travel expert, but I know that, so you can't fly with the fuel, you can't fly with bear spray, and then obviously you can't fly, okay, so carry-on, you can't fly with like the obvious things like water, of course, that doesn't stop some people, but you can't fly with your electronics in your backpack. So if you're bringing like a rechargeable battery, you got to put that in your carry-on. I don't put my backpack I don't bring it as a carry-on. I put it inside a bigger duffel, and I check it typically. I'm usually bringing gear for other people, or I'm bringing like multiple backpacks, like I'm bringing my daughter on a trip, so we get 2 backpacks in the duffel, for example. The other thing is if you're trying to like not pay that checked bag fee, you got to be careful with the trekking poles because you can't bring the trekking poles in the airplane either. So that's all that I know for that.
Yeah, batteries. You caught the one that I've gotten dinged with the batteries before.
Right.
I put them in the truck checked luggage because to me that seemed like the safe place. I was like, oh, you're not supposed to bring this into the plane, so I like have it in the checked luggage. But it's the opposite. It's pressurized with you in the cabin. Right. Leave any knives or bombs also at home. Highly recommended. Yeah, wisdom.
Ooh, wisdom right there. Wisdom. Okay. Last night, guys, I got a quick review/preview of a new sleeping bag, or kind of an update for the Thermarest Parsec. It's a 20-degree sleeping bag, and I think this one might be replacing the Outdoor Vitals Summit Down bag. I think it's a little bit better. Right now, it's not a premium bag. You're not spending like $800 in the bag. I've seen it on sale on a couple different sites, so it goes anywhere from like the low 300s. If it's not on sale, it might go as much as $470, but it looks like I think it's got everything that a premium bag has for the most part, outside of maybe like it being made in the United States, for example. But this would be like a good ultralightish weekend backpacker bag. So it's got that hydrophobic 900 fill down that Jesse loves, that you talked about the last time you were on.
You don't really need.
You don't need it hydrophobic, but it's got the 900 fill down, and it's they actually we're very intentional about tailoring it to maximize warmth in key areas to shed weight. And they even have something called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, the Toasis, like an oasis for your toes, where it's like an extra little like foot warmer to like warm up your feet extra fast.
Like what's that? Is it like electrical?
No.
Like it just warms up your toes extra fast.
Yeah,
it's just
extra. For those on YouTube, you're seeing what it is in the video, but for those who are listening, it's just like an extra like foot pocket inside the foot box of the bag that's extra. It's like concentrated down for extra warmth.
So okay, so it has like a down pocket inside the bag where you for
your toes, and I've had cold feet, especially in that Canadian summer winter. Like that's the last time I remember having like really cold feet that wouldn't get warm. And so the design's really thoughtful. That might be annoying to some people, but if you have cold feet and they don't want to bring like down booties, it's built into the bag. The bag weighs like, depending upon the size you get, it's like 1 pound, 13 ounces. For 20 degrees, like that's pretty legit. And in terms of like critiques, I don't really have anything. Like it's a touch expensive at full price, but when you compare it to other bags that are like with similar, I guess, down fill and things like that, it's actually like on the cheaper side of things. And so I'm actually giving this a 5 out of 5 stars for like value, quality, and thoughtful design, though I would prefer to buy it on sale versus full price, of course.
I should have you up here for Canadian summer winter, and you can put it really through the test.
Well, I had the Outdoor Vitals down bag, and that was fine for that trip. I still was like cold, but it wasn't, like eventually I warmed up. I think this one would have been better.
There you go.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Hey, I don't think I've ever used a Thermarest sleeping bag, so
Yeah,
interesting.
they've been coming out with some good stuff, and I mean, like we talked about bias, like in our last episode. Like I'm biased towards Cascade Designs. I like their gear a lot. They make a lot of MSR and
yeah, no, great review, Carl. And with that, please subscribe if you want to be graded and judged more by Carl as a backpacker.
And remember, folks, 85% of backpackers don't really know what they're doing. Thank the Lord, I'm in the other 25%.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Have a good weekend. God
Oh,
bless.
25. What?
I got you on that one. Totally got
You know, B&B, I like taking Jennifer on dates. This is Rock, and it's fun to go on dates together. But if I were to do certain things on dates, these would be great indicators that I did not know what I was doing when I took her on that date. One would be to get her red, pink, orange, or purple flowers. She likes white flowers. If I get her anything else, great indicator, I don't know what I'm doing. If I were to take her to an Italian restaurant and not offer her an appetizer, great indicator that I don't know what I'm doing. And she doesn't always want an appetizer. She just wants to be offered the appetizer. Then, when we go out, she says, order my beverage. If I were not to order her iced tea, or if I were to order her iced tea that had any sort of sweetness in it, great indicator that I do not know what I'm doing. Those are three things that would be great indicators that I do not know what I'm doing when I am dating my beautiful wife. Now, there's some great indicators too that indicate you don't know what you're doing when you're backpacking. Number 3, if you come to a stream and you hesitate, you don't know what you're doing in backpacking. Folks, you need to plunge right in. Whatever footwear you have on, foot gear, just plunge right in. I don't know about these people that just stop and take off all their shoes and socks and then take 30 years to put them back on the other side of the trail. Okay, then, if after you cross the stream, if you cross that thing and just continue on, you're missing out. You don't know what you're doing because you're supposed to cross it, drop your pack, and then run and jump back into it and lounge in the water for a while, especially if the temperature is 65 degrees or above. The number one thing that indicates you don't know what you're doing when you're backpacking is you're not eating constantly. If you're not eating constantly, what are we doing? Then that's just backing or packing, but it's definitely not backpacking. Right? You have the backpack to carry all these calories and food for you to just chow down on at any part of any day. If you're not eating a lot of food, like pretty much all the time, you definitely don't know what you're doing when you're out on the trail, my brothers and sisters. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the trail.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.